Tom Brokaw explains Canada to Americans. G'day guys, how's it going? My name is AussieTash. After watching the Tom Brokaw Gander 9/11 documentaries, I'm really looking forward to this video. But before we do, please make sure to jump on, hit that subscribe button. That would really help me out. Okay, let's get into it. Tom Brokaw explains Canada to Americans. Let's go.
This is the Peace Arch standing near the westernmost edge of the U.S.-Canadian border, 30 miles south of the Olympic City, between Blaine and Washington State, and Surrey, British Columbia. This was dedicated in 1921 to commemorate the treaty that ended the War of 1812 between the U.S. and Great Britain. Remember, Canada was a British colony. That was a long time ago, but the inscription on the arch sums up the relationship. May these gates never be closed.
That's really cool.
We share more than a long border, of course. No dotted line can divide our joint stewardship of a treasure of natural riches. From the Atlantic to the Pacific, and back again. Shorelines, wild rivers, and great lakes, vast forest and grasslands, precious ores buried in majestic mountains, and wildlife everywhere. From sea to shining sea. Canada and the United States share another unique quality. They're immigrant nations, destinations for people around the world who long for political freedoms, economic opportunity, and a long tradition of compassion. Our two nations have the largest trading relationship in the world.
Wow.
$1.5 billion transacted every day. The two-way trade at the Ambassador Bridge between Detroit and Windsor alone equals all American exports to Japan.
Wow.
And we're so comfortable as neighbors. 200 million people cross the common border every year. Canada, some may be surprised to learn, is America's largest oil supplier. And the United States is Canada's #1 tourist destination.
Yeah.
In a snapshot, Canada is a huge country, second largest in the world next to Russia. But its population is only about a tenth the size of the United States, 34 million, split into 10 provinces and 3 territories. 90% of Canadians live within 100 miles of the U.S. border, residing in world-class cities, thriving farms and smaller towns. With good reason. Life in the Canadian North is only for the hardy. It is remote and oh so cold. The coldest day ever recorded in North America occurred in 1947 in Snag, Yukon. Minus 81 degrees, not including wind chill.
Minus 81 degrees. Oh my gosh. That is freezing. When we have winter here, I'm whinging when it's like 8 degrees or something like that. Minus 81 degrees. That is crazy. I'm really loving this video. Since starting this channel, obviously I've learned so much about Canada, but I've also learned about the relationship between Canada and America. I know you guys fought a war against each other, but you've also done some really cool things together. When the Halifax explosion happened, Boston, Massachusetts, they come in and they helped Halifax. And then, of course, who can forget what Gander and Canada did during 9/11? So there's some great things in history that you guys have done to help out each other, but there's also been some war as well. But I'm loving this documentary so far. John Candy's up next. Let's go.
Jesse the Sponge.
Canadians are so generous, they share with us their brightest stars in music, comedy, acting, sports, and journalism. And if you're in a fight, you want the Canadians on your side. They were in World War II before we were. They were there on D-Day, in the air and on the beaches. They've been America's most reliable partners in Afghanistan, and it's been costly and painful. Now, when Canada loses a warrior in that distant land, the nation pauses and honors the fallen along what is called the Highway of Heroes outside of Toronto. Even their diplomats have been there for us. In 1980, a year before the conclusion of the Iranian hostage crisis, 6 American embassy personnel would escape from Iran in an operation organized by Canadian Ambassador Ken Taylor.
The United States is thanking Canada for rescuing those 6 American diplomats from Iran.
Taylor hid the Americans after the U.S. Embassy was stormed, created fake Canadian passports, then flew the Americans out of Tehran with a bogus cover story. The 6 in disguise as a mod-looking Hollywood film crew, allegedly researching a prospective sci-fi flick. Now, all these years later, Taylor has admitted he was formerly working for the CIA. And if the Iranians had discovered he was an American spy, he would have been in big, big trouble.
Okay, guys, I have got to watch a video about this. That is badass. Look, I've seen some videos. I know how badass Canada were in World War II. They did some cool stuff to the Germans, mate. 3 guys took them on. There was that one guy with the eye patch. He took on and captured like 90 soldiers or something in one go. He was crazy. This is a really cool story. So please, guys, send me a suggestion. Find a link for me or I'll go on and have a look. I had no idea about this story. I'm really, really interested in learning about this.
In our darkest hours, Canada has been with us. On September 11th, as the United States shut down its airspace, Canada instituted Operation Yellow Ribbon, landing 239 U.S.-bound flights with 33,000 passengers at 17 different Canadian airports. And then, amid the uncertainty that followed, entire communities housed and fed those thousands of passengers for days afterward. In the long history of sovereign neighbors, there never has been a relationship as close, productive, and peaceful as the U.S. and Canada. We share a continent and so much more. Speaking before the Canadian Parliament, President Kennedy summarized the relationship this way.
Geography has made us neighbors. History has made us friends. Economics has made us partners. And necessity has made us allies.
That's pretty cool, man.
Those whom nature hath so joined together, said Kennedy, let no man put asunder.
Of course, there are some distinct differences in the culture. The American fans at these games will be unfurling their stars and stripes at every opportunity and chanting USA, USA. The Canadian Prime Minister had to go before Parliament yesterday and urge Canadians to engage in what he called an uncharacteristic outburst of patriotism, saying, don't be afraid to wave those flags. We'll apologize to the world for our immodesty later. So that's a big difference, Al.
Okay, so I'm guessing from what Tom Brokaw saying is that this was filmed during the Olympics and, mate, friendship, that's out the window when the Olympics starts, mate. You go for your country no matter what. We cry, Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. That was an absolutely beautiful story. I'm crying at the end, man. Obviously, when it comes to sport, of course, we all want to beat each other up. That's just how it goes, mate. That's just it. When it comes to the Olympics, mate, you want to beat every other country and hold that flag up and hold that medal. But, oh my gosh, that story, that touched me so much. That was just fantastic. The assassination of JFK, that fascinated me, man. I remember reading books so much, watching videos, trying to find all the stuff I could find. Man, back then, there wasn't the internet. You just had the library. I have never, ever seen that footage before where Kennedy was addressing Parliament of Canada. That was really, really cool. I absolutely loved that video. If you did, please jump on, smash the like button, leave a comment, and remember to subscribe. That would really help me out. Cheers from down under. Take care. Bye.